how do you see this new era as it pertains to the work that you're doing? I know you have this amazing installation that I also want to get a lot of details about. But how do you see Black art also shifting and navigating this new era?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what the creatives are getting ready to bring because we have now inspiration, motivation. We have something to say. And one thing about artists is that we have like historically been killed. We have died for our messaging, right?
Mm,
Everyone else might be afraid to say it or can't say it because of their environment. The artist is going to find a way, they're going to find a hole to squeeze out a message that's going to impact an entire community and a global world.
mm,
So, anything that's happening right now is an opportunity for creatives to disrupt, to create, to showcase, to highlight, to bring awareness, to tell the truth. And I'm so excited that they're going to have this platform. And I also feel like, it's a resistance, right? Because we have AI, which was this big topic about how they were taking
right,
over. And guess
right.
what? Now we've got Trump, and there's this big topic about what he's going to try to do. This is
Mm,
an opportunity, everyone, for us to
mm.
fight, for us to show up, for us to make a statement, for us to make change. And I know that if you are an artist, you need inspiration. You need something to give you that energy
Yeah.
that like makes you want to do something.
Spark. Yeah.
Now we've
Yeah.
got it. We've got a
Mm,
spark. We've got more
mm.
than a spark. Okay.
Child,
We
we got
got,
a whole ass raging fire, five alarm fire
yeah, give a
taking place.
trail.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, when it comes to hair, black hair in particular, we don't often think about the artistic nature of black hair. I should say, people who were not a part of the Brooklyn natural hair community might not often think about the artistic nature of black hair because, to me, and you know, we go back, Jennifer. You know that I have always sort of been in a space that said our hair is its
Beautiful.
own being. It is beautiful, it is vibrant, but I also recognize that it in and of itself is disruptive. And I have always embraced the role of using my hair, weaponizing my love for my hair in some really
Yes.
powerful ways. And you have also really been at the forefront of helping us to see the artistic beauty of black hair. And I've seen the circles that you run in and the work that you've done. Talk to us about how black hair, the art around black hair, talk to us about the historical nature of that and what you see coming in the this new paradigm shifting world that we're tumbling into.
Well, historically, hair has always been a huge component in our identity from ancestral times. It's really how you identified with your tribe and you told a story through your hair
Yeah.
about who you connected to and also what you were going through. Were you mourning? Were you going to war? It's a very
Mm.
much a storyteller. And so it's really nice and important for us to hold on to this very like valuable, impactful connection to our tresses and what they can really do. They can tell a story, right? And
Yeah.
so showing up as yourself now in this place that we've been put in these the diaspora and saying, you know what, and there's nothing wrong with me. It's actually very stunning and beautiful the way my hair grows out of its head naturally. And I'm gonna celebrate that and I'm gonna show that off. And I'm going to be unapologetic about it. It really
Mm.
just allows a window of the younger generation to feel freedom. And when you feel freedom, I feel like that's when you're unstoppable. If you feel enchained, if you're feeling like you're being held back and you can't show up as yourself, it does something to you psychologically. So I always want to advocate and empower the next generation coming up to feel beautiful and feel powerful as they are and show them just like what superpower your hair is because it grows out and because it grows up. It really is a superpower, right? The things that our hair can do, there's no other hair that can do that without major manipulation. And when we just have it at its fingertips, that's worth celebrating.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty deep. And I think with we were talking about disruption and opportunities, we go back and forth with the hair thing. And
Yep.
I know right now, our our generation right now, they're very much, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
Yep.
They don't wanna be preached to, they don't wanna be lectured, and I feel like every generation before them always feel that way about the second generation or the upcoming generation, but you
Hmm.
really see it now because during when you and I were coming up, there was this huge natural hair care movement, and it was very empowering, and it
Yeah.
was a global takeover. We've
Yep.
seen that shift, haven't we? We've
Yes,
seen the
indeed.
we've seen a lot more variety in hairstyles, but we've seen the reemergence of the relaxer. We've seen the 30-inch bush down is not going anywhere. And I am not mad at you if that's what you want to do. Please don't take offense. My only hope is that we are aware of why we're making these decisions and we are not ignoring the underlying fabric as to why we're making those decisions.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do whatever you want, kings and queens, but ask yourself, why am I making this decision? Is it to assimilate? Is it for acceptance? Is it because I feel more beautiful? Are the images still telling me that there's something that I'm lacking? Let's be
Right.
mindful of that and let's hold ourselves accountable to a very high standard because we are the ultimate beings. We are the original beings. We are absolutely perfect as we are.
Mm. I love that. I'm even seeing resonances of that in my own household. I was telling the audience earlier, I was one of the reasons I was looking forward to speaking with you is because, when I was coming up, I wanted straight hair, right? Like before I cut out
That's
my
your
perm
book.
in college, like I wanted straight hair, right? You read the book.
I read the book.
And so I'm in my household, I have an 11-year-old daughter now. Now my son, 17, he's been locked his whole life. There was one period where we cut his locks because, we kind of wanted him to be able to make that decision on his own. And we were like,
Yeah.
we gave you locks from a baby, maybe you didn't want them. And he was so mad. He was like, I cannot believe y'all cut my locks. And as soon as he was able to, he grew his locks back. But with our daughter,
Beautiful.
we took a slightly different approach. We didn't put locks in her hair. And I have since locked my hair. Now she is having conversations. She doesn't want straight hair. That's not her burden. Her burden is she doesn't want short hair. She feels like shrinkage
Mhm.
is the enemy. Whereas for me, it was the texture was the enemy. For her, it's the
Yeah.
shrinkage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you come from my loins? And this is what you believe. But what you said is so true. She doesn't want to be told what is right. And so I'm having to find ways of
Yeah.
exploring the beauty of our hair with her. And I think the arts are going to play such a fundamental role in our ability to raise the self-esteem of our babies in this next era. Talk to us a little bit about how you've been able to position yourself artistically, because yes, as promised you, it's only three women other than you that I would allow to put their hands in my head. You know
Yeah.
all of them. You know every
I
single
do.
one of them. You know
I
every single
do.
one of them. So there are very few people that I will let put their hands in my hair. But one of the things I love about you is that you're behind the chair. Yes, you give guidance. Yes, but you're artistic. That Natural Hollywood is your label. That is your brand. Talk to us about how you have been able to use art to spread the message about the beauty of our hair and then the perfection of who we are.
Well, I think you said it, Nashville Hollywood, right? Which is like now has layers to it because we have the birth of it, which was the online magazine. And it was just this platform that then evolved into this beautiful, stunning coffee table book, which is also still available. And then we, actually moved into Natural Hollywood. So, like, that was like kind of crazy because I didn't plan that or see that consciously. I think it was subconscious. Like, I
Mm.
could see myself watching movies back in the day and being like, I could do that. I could do that better, but I think I wasn't aware of like what God had planned for me. So it's really, I apologize. I don't know how to turn off my ringer on my new phone if you heard that, y'all.
Oh, we can
Anyway,
barely hear it.
okay, good. But yeah, I being actually, working in Hollywood directly and working with naturals in Hollywood, right? Natural Hollywood became this new thing, or this I would say extension of just
Yeah.
beauty. But like, when you actually have people in front of you who are vulnerable enough to share their stories, you find out that the same things that you experience with one-on-one clients in your salon environment is happening one-on-one in these trailers where people are emotionally showcasing how much it means that you're in the room. Just you being in there releases so much tension in them to be
Right.
able to do their job. But then when you treat them with value and respect and you honor them and you celebrate them, well, now the tears are coming because they haven't experienced that. And they haven't
Mm.
experienced it enough. People do get defensive and they say, I know how to do this. I've been doing this however long. But do you like it though?
Ooh. Right.
Do
And
you
when
love
you're
it?
when you're a celebrity and you're still having to fight with people about how to take care of your hair, you can't walk out on that set looking that hot mess that they sent you out on because they don't know a barrette from a bobo. Like that's a problem. That has a direct impact not only on your coin, but also on your self-esteem because then you're
It
captured
does.
on film, you're captured on screen in ways that are demeaning, that don't highlight your beauty. And we see this in the photography community where you've got these famous photographers who do not know how to light black skin to the point where I'm like, how come I am not in media in that I'm not in photography, but I know that lighting is set according
Oh,
to colorist standard. So I need my richly melanated people be in the light. And if I'm taking a picture with people, I will rearrange how I'm like, I'm light skinned. I don't need all that light. You come and stand here because otherwise the camera's not going to see you. When this is your profession and there is an
Yeah.
absence of people who have the expertise that you do, those
Yeah.
images are captured and replicated all across the globe in ways that
Yes.
reaffirm a lack of confidence in the beauty of black hair. And so
You
that to
said
me is
it.
one of the most tragic parts of all of this, particularly when it comes to the industry in terms of media and messaging and imaging.
100%. I think it's really important for us to like stand on that and know how important it is to change that narrative
Mm.
when we don't celebrate. And this is not necessarily based on your race because it's everybody who has an issue with value because of caste, right? So
Ooh.
even though within your own community, you don't see your own value and you don't see the people who look like you as valuable, okay? So
Mm.
I want to make sure that there's no particular group that feels attacked by this statement. This is everyone across the board has issues around our value and our worth, right? And so
Mm.
when you don't see the full potential and full value and how you can showcase these these actors and
Yeah.
you treat them a certain way according to the role and you give them a certain look according to the role because of what you've been conditioned to learn, it trickles down and it keeps going and it flips and it multiplies because now, everyone in China thinks that we're bad because they don't have a lot of Black people there. And
And we
so
export
image,
trash messaging
yeah,
about us.
and this has been proven factual things. We
Yeah.
could talk all the way back from that movie, Birth of a Nation, where it was
Mm.
a silent movie and they put on blackface and they had them raping the white women
Yep.
and chasing them and killing them. That ignited the Klan. And that is responsible. That Hollywood movie is responsible for the deaths of so many
Mm.
Black people being hung and lynched. Okay. So this is a real thing. Maybe we're not being lynched directly, but we have the industrial prison complex. We
Mm.
have just our mindset about who we are. So we can get artistic with it and talk about beauty standards and colorism and featureism and texturism, and that's mild, but we could talk about like our livelihoods and how it impacts, our psyche and
Right.
how that trickles down into what happens when we travel, what happens when we have kids, and what happens when we bring them up, and what are we teaching them. So it's really important to understand how media works, how Hollywood works, how imagery works. And that's why it's the responsibility of the artist to showcase the beauty of it, right? So that you have other references. And that's why I created the coffee table book. That's why I fought to be in the union so I could work in film and TV. And that's why I'm now doing this upcoming installation because we have to celebrate what's next.
That's right.